stress and why their mind is going through the changes. We have to also realize that our bodies are made up of chemicals, okay? And every day that we wake up and every time that we do something in our life, those chemicals start to form and change who we are sometimes. And I think that if people go and get help, then they're able to find out who they are, really and truly who they are. And I say that because sometimes you might not know who you are, and you might feel that you're not important to someone. But if you go and get help, you start to understand that you are important to someone, and that you are someone's daughter, you are someone's son, you are someone's granddaughter and grandson, and you are someone's uncle, aunt, a husband, a wife, a grandparent, okay? And all of these things, you have to understand truthfully who you are. And I want to also say this: suicide has no gender, it has no race, it doesn't have an age. It's being prevalent in America, where people are committing suicides on a daily basis, and a lot of people are asking the question and they're never getting the answer. And when people say, well, you'll see someone exemplifying, you can't always say that, because some people and most people are taught to, when you're going through an issue, to smile through it. When you're going through something, you smile through it. You don't let people know you have an issue going on, right? Because that's what society says. Society says if I go and tell someone I need help and that I want to commit suicide, to them I have created the greatest sin of the world, and that is saying I want to kill myself. I want to off myself. I want to alleviate myself from the earth's problems, right? The world problems. So I want to move forward now and say this to all our service members that are listening out there. Everyone in the military has stress. And whether you're the lowest rank of an E1 to the highest ranks of generals, you will have some type of stress. That's realistic. You have the stress, and you might be asking, well, what stress? Because I'm a service member, or I was a service member. What stress are you talking about? And I'm glad you asked those questions, because you have the stress, and some people have the stress to pass a physical fitness test. In the military, you have to pass a physical fitness test. Okay? And as we know, they're going to a new physical fitness test, but you have to pass a physical fitness test currently, whether that's a 2-mile run, whether that's the push-ups and the sit-ups, or biking, or swimming. Whatever physical fitness test you have to pass it. That is a requirement of the military services. And you have to make sure that you meet your standards for height and weight as well. Okay, so those are stress that people have. And yes, you can go and you can run all day long and you still fail a PT test. You can go and do push-ups, sit-ups all day long and you'll still fail. Why? Because it's just the nature of the beast at the time. Maybe you have some injuries. Maybe there's something going on personally with you, right? And you're trying to stay in the military, and you're trying to meet all of the requirements just on the physical fitness level so that you can take care of yourself and as well as your family if you have a family. And when you fail these things, it becomes a stress factor, because now you're doing remedial PT, you're doing so much, you're trying to make sure that you're maintaining, you're trying to make sure that you're eating right. It's so many factors that you're trying to do, and when you are put in a position where now it's do or die, and some people are not good with the do or die. Some people can't pick up that phone and say, well, hey, I failed the physical fitness test that put me out of the military, right? And those are things that people can't take. But I want to say this: if you are in that situation today, because you failed the PT test and you're getting out, that is a small tab issue of your life. That is a small tab issue. And the reason I say that is because you have to realize you have to make it in this world, whether you're military or not. You have to make it. It's not an option of making it. You have to make it. And when you feel yourself in a stressful environment, or you feel like you can't make it out, that is the time to stop, think about what is going on, and then you need to think about head. A lot of people are thinking about where they're at, and then that's when they kill themselves. The next thing is many people don't have someone that they can call and that they can talk to. Because some folks join the military, from foster care. They join the military from abuse of homes. And they joined the military, parents were alive, and then some tragedy happened. Now they don't have those folks. So now they don't, they can't call home. Okay, and if they do call home, okay, and I will say this, if they do call home, they have people back there who were once military, so now they're trying to make it. And what I mean by make it is because daddy made it to the rank of sergeant major, or daddy made it to being a 4-star general. I got to make it to be the sergeant major or the 4-star general. And if any time that is interrupted and I don't make it, that's a stress. Because now the expectation that you're trying to live is the expectation that mommy, daddy, granddaddy, or whoever that paved the way made it. Now you feel like you have to make it. And that is real hard for some folks to understand that, hey, I've got to live my life. I can't make mama, granddaddy, and everybody always happy. I'm not going to make the rank that they made. I'm not going to go at the pace that they made if I do was to make the rank. So you have to put yourself in a position to understand that everybody goes through life differently. And everybody has different levels of stress in how they feel about something. Okay? And then at the same time, in the military, people have a stress because in the military, people can cuss you out. They do different things to you as an individual of a lower rank. And some people can't handle that. People could say, well, they're weak. That is not a weak. Being talked down to in the military, during my time in service at least, has been very high. I have seen it happen. And that's one reason why I make the decisions that I make in my life. I can't allow someone to talk down to me. And when I realized that I couldn't let someone just talk down to me, I had to start going through life, making the changes that were necessary for me, going through life, making the changes that were necessary for me, so that I didn't have to go through that. So I don't have to go through that, right? And so what did I do? I made the change, right? And some people in life doesn't make the change. They feel that they're stuck in an environment that they can't get out, and then they end up going to kill themselves, right? And the way to handle that is you have to stand up for yourself, and you have to do it in a respectable way. You have to let people know, I'm not the one you're just going to sit and cuss at. I'm not the one you're going to call whatever name in the book besides my name, right? And I'm not going to be the one that you're going to sit and be interrogate. That's not how it works in real life, right? And people go and kill themselves because of this stuff. It's called bullying. When people talk that's bullying. Another thing is wanting to leave an organization and not having the support. I believe that's a big factor. Is wanting to leave an organization and not having the support that you need. And what does that mean? Is when you're in an organization, you hear people say, "Well, you're not going to make it. If you get out of the military, you're not going to make it." And that puts fear in people. That puts fear inside of people's heart to say, "Hey, this is all I know, and now I want to, a change of career. I want to change of pace." And someone says, well, hey, you're not going to make it. There's no jobs. It's none of this. It's not that. It's this. And you start to believe that. That's a stress factor. And that leads to people committing suicide. And the way to not commit suicide is to take chances. Everything in life is a risk. And I tell soldiers that all the time that I talk to. Life is risky. You take the risk, and sometimes you pass, and sometimes you fail. But as long as you take the risk and you go with it, and you have an agenda and you have a plan, you're going to be fine. You will be fine. Okay? All of these things play a role in each soldier's mind, and it doesn't matter the leadership position nor the rank. And I say this because I recently, I want to say 2 weeks ago, a first sergeant that I know, and I was up under his leadership, he ended up committing suicide. Okay, so it doesn't have a rank. I know people that I served with and that I was in the military with that killed themselves, right? And it didn't matter, what some of them were lower rank, some of them were higher rank. They killed